Want to check out your house while you're away for the holidays? Iyaz shows us a tiny little camera that can monitor video over the internet.
This show brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Use promo code TVI7 and get any .com domain name for $7.49.
Now, while you're going away for the holidays, obviously you might want to keep an eye on things. And this holiday season, there's a new product out from a company called Avaak that actually lets you do it. It's called the Vue. Iyaz, kind of fill us in what's going on here with this little tiny camera.
Sure. Right now, when you buy a Avaak Vue personal video network, that's what they're calling it because it's not surveillance. We'll get on that in a minute.
Yeah.
You get a base station. It's not so big, but you get these two tiny cameras, okay? They're battery powered, so there's no wires. They actually transmit their video back to the base that's connected to your actual router. And it's actually really easy to set up. It costs about $300, so the price is a little bit on the steep side, especially in these troubled times, kind of things.
TM.
But it's kind of it's a cool device.
So, the upside, obviously, you can actually view, other locations in your house. Sort of it's using obviously some sort of proprietary wireless technology to make this happen. How does it work? I mean, you've had it for a couple weeks. Kind of, what's your experience with it?
It's for something as difficult as video networking is. This thing makes it really easy. When you connect the base, you just sync up the cameras. And so since these things are so small as well, they attach to almost anywhere. So you don't have to worry about routing wires or worry about power or any of that stuff. I found it really easy to use. It works via web interface. And that's also, again, really easy to use. One of the problems, though, is that you can't use these as surveillance cameras, unfortunately, which I think is a little bit of a letdown. And there's also no audio on these things. What's
the difference really between a surveillance camera in this case and a personal video network?
I think for the personal video network, they're thinking more like a baby monitor thing, or if you want to go ahead and keep an eye on your back porch, or just check around when you actually have access to it. So it's a lot more involved. It's not going to set itself off. It's not going to be recording when it detects motion or anything like that. It's more of a monitor, more so than a security kind of thing.
So in the downside, you say there's no way to really route audio through this. You have to figure out some elaborate setup if you wanted to do that.
Yeah, you'd have to do some serious hacking to get audio into this because it doesn't have a microphone on either one of these cameras.
And then also, you say that there's no motion sensor, so you can't really, you could set up some sort of timed record, but as for actual real security of recording of motion, that doesn't really work.
Nope, that's not what this thing does. I mean, it's really, they call it a video network for a good reason because, I mean, because it's really easy to set up, they had to take certain things out, and I'm really, just to get it this small, I'm thinking if you add in those devices, you're going to have to drain the battery because it's going to be turning on all the time. Because the battery's supposed to last like up to a year. That's not a joke because these things are just so dang small. And they record VGA video, so if you want to keep an eye, again, if you want to keep an eye on your front porch, if you want to see who's coming to your door, if that's the UPS guy or somebody with a crowbar, you can go ahead and see that. But it's not going to detect it automatically.
Yeah, it might be good for senior citizens or people who don't like to get out of the house. Maybe me, because I'm always in the office, and I don't like to stand up. I don't like to walk. I like to just sit here. So
sometimes you just need to look around without getting up. And the other thing is this base, if you're really feeling up to it, can support up to 50 cameras.
Wow.
So you can have it in every freaking corner of your house. I mean, this is kind of nuts to think about. You can actually also see your friends' thing. They have a social element to their website. So if you want to see if you want to watch something else for your friend, oh yeah, your plants are still alive, or whatever.
You can watch something with no audio though, so you can't really use it as a webcam. It just has to be look at this thing. It's visual. So.
I guess you could set up a lot of fish tank channels.
Go figure. Iyaz, managing editor for TechVie. Thanks for coming on and talking about the Avaak Vue. See you later.
No problem.
Head to avis.com/techbee and save 10% off any reservation or $30 off a weekly rental.